hello. I'm over here doing my little dance, waiting for all of our platforms to join us. Howdy do, howdy do. Happy Monday. We have Instagram in the house. We have our private Facebook community. Hey guys. We have LinkedIn and we have YouTube with us today. So hello from wherever you are watching at any time that you are joining us. Even if you're in the replays, like drop a comment, let me know you were here, put a question, and just engage with us. I want to know who's engaging in this kind of content. If you like it, if you want me to talk about something else, happy Monday, happy Monday. That's what I want to know. But welcome every single Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are here giving you free tips, strategies, and resources. I am Corey Fonville Foster. I am a speaker, trainer, I'm a certified business coach, but I'm also the CEO of iRock Marketable Business Solutions. And I'm excited to be here with you guys. I'm super excited to be here tonight. I was talking to Instagram before we got started, and I was saying that tonight's strategies can work for the newbie business owner, the up and coming, and someone who's already been scaling but maybe needs to go back and make sure that they're taking care of some of their fundamentals. So I think that if you are here, you're in the right place. We're gonna get you what you need on today. Before we dive too deep into our talk, I do want to let you guys know we have a master class coming up outside of our free Monday Night Lives. We have our iRock Masterclass series that has been going on all year. I'm super proud about this project because we've had some amazing experts come. We've had people like Jamila Moore, who is our legal guru, teaching us how to legally protect our businesses and our all the things that we're working so hard for. It's just so amazing. We've had I'm trying to think of names. Susie, she came in, Susie Rains, and she talked to us about really having a business plan that is a living document that we utilize throughout the life of our business and not being afraid to adjust it. We've had so many great talks. We've had people come talk to us about public speaking, about taking photos and headshots and things like that. Just so many cool things. I'm sorry I don't have all of them on top of my head. I'm sitting here like, what were they? But we've had a whole bunch of them. But we have another great masterclass coming up. We have our expert coming in, Misha Branch. She is absolutely phenomenal. She is a market research expert. So the way I explain it to people, because some people don't know they need something unless you explain to them why, right? So Misha is a market research expert. What does that mean and why do we care as business owners? Well, we care because people don't just throw money at marketing, right? Think about all the big businesses you know, even medium-sized businesses. They use data to decide what they're going to market and how they're going to market it and who they're going to market it to. So instead of us being like, I feel like, right? We small entrepreneurs oftentimes have to, especially initially, we act on feelings. We feel like we want to work with this client. We feel and we think that they're probably over here and they're probably going to want this. But we're a lot of times we're missing that market research, that detailed market research that can tell us exactly these are the people that want what we have. This is how much they paid for it. This is what our competitors are doing. Like we're missing those elements. Large market research campaigns with companies like Taco Bell, Uncle Ben's Rice, Facebook, Google, and many others. And these huge companies utilize this tool of market research to educate themselves on what they should be doing in their business. And so Misha is so amazing. She's coming down to our level, right? The small business level, and saying, okay, you guys can utilize this amazing tool as well. This is how you can do it. So on August 24th, that's this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. I do encourage you guys, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and register for that free master class. And if you're like, girl, where is the link? One, I'll put it in the private community, but on LinkedIn and in our private community, you can always go to the event sections at any time and use the links to register. But also, if you're not on any of those platforms, see, I'm doing better, y'all. You can go to iRockMarketableBusinessSolutions.com and go to our promotions tab, and you can see all the promotions that we offer at this time. It changes monthly or so, and then also any of our special events. So you can go there and sign up for Misha's class as well. And if you are tuned into our email list, you should have received an email. Go ahead and inviting you to sign up. If you missed it, no worries. We have more emails coming out. But that is August 24th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. That's this Thursday. And we are going to be learning about market research. If that time does not work for you, I totally understand. If you still want the information, I do encourage you to still register because you will have access to the replays for 48 hours. So that's the best I can do. If you can't come, go ahead, register anyway. And I always put a caveat: if you do not register, please do not message me asking me for the replay links. All I ask you to do is register. So please do register. And if you can, definitely attend, because the things that Misha knows is really going to help you leverage your business and be able to make some very informed decisions. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the topic for tonight. And again, if you're watching, definitely tell me hey. Let me know who's in the house because I want to know. But tonight we are talking about content marketing, right? We want to convert clients even on our budgets. A lot of us, because I know my audience, we have some tight budgets. Some people are like, my budget is zero for marketing. Got you. Don't worry. We got you covered. And some of you may have a few $1,000s a month to spend on marketing. Most of my clients don't have anything more than maybe 5K a month to market. And some of you hearing 5K might be like, oh my God, that's high. When I tell you the amount a lot of still small businesses, but more scale businesses, how much money they spend just on ads every month, like the numbers would shock you. Because it works. It works. Ads and other marketing plus teams, like it's a big budget. But most of the clients that are in the iRock world have, I would say, roughly between zero, because some of them are like, I ain't got no money, all the way up to about 5K a month marketing. So these strategies we're going to talk about tonight, they're good for all of you guys. So what is content marketing? Because that we got to define that so you understand what I'm even talking about before we get too deep here. I'm just changing the screen because that's just bothering me. All right. So as usual, like when it's a definition, I like to read it. So content marketing is a strategic approach to creating and sharing valuable content. The content's going to attract and engage your target audience, foster trust, and drive desired actions without direct promotion. So this is without ads. Okay, yay! Everybody's like, I ain't got the money for ads. Cool, no worries. This was without ads. This was without spending your coins on the actual content getting to you folks. Within some caveats. We'll talk about those too. They're optional. But all right. So why is this relevant to us? Well, if we don't have content out here, first of all, how do people know we exist? Yes, you can have a website. Yes, you can optimize your SEO. Yes, you can have word of mouth. Some of you may even have brick and mortar businesses. But in the age of 2023, right? In this age, people are finding folks through Googling them, through social media, like they who knows somebody, like people need to know you exist. And one of the best things you can do for yourself is be visible, especially online. It's one of your biggest ways to get free traffic to your business, no matter what you sell, even though I know most of you are coaches and consultants. And for us, it's even more imperative because we do work a lot of times virtually. So we want to show that we're an expert. So we need to put out content that shows that. Now, we'll talk more about types of content that can be, but just keep that in mind. We also want to show that we're an established brand. Sometimes people who are like, if you notice, if you're on Instagram enough, you probably have noticed there are some people who literally only exist on Instagram. Now, some people, I give them all credit where credit is due, are willing to shop with those entities and spend their coins on an Instagram based business that has nothing else. And yay, hope it works out. But that's why they have a whole little trend called what I paid for versus what I got. Right? If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. People are like, oh, I thought I was going to get this. It came in the mail, and guess what I actually got. So we want to establish ourselves as a brand. We want people to be able to see kind of like a paper trail, right? Being able to see, okay, not only do they have a website, that looks legit. They also have this, they have a YouTube channel, they have Facebook, they have LinkedIn. Oh, I can see pictures of them out working. There are actual people in those photos. They're consistent, so it looks like they're still, there, all that kind of stuff. You want to really establish that you are a legitimate business doing business. And then it's great for lead generation, putting out content, again, showing your expert, building that know, like, and trust that we've been talking about week in and week out, really helps you bring in those cold leads, warm them up, and then convert them to being paid clients. Because that's what it's about in the end. Yes, we want to help people. Absolutely. Yes, we want to increase our numbers, our followership. Yes. But we also want to convert, right? All of this is not just for happy feely, fun thoughts. It's to convert to being paid, to having paid clients. And so creating content and being out here online, having a social media presence is going to help you do just that. Now, I'm sure some of you are thinking, I hate social media. I had this conversation with a client today. I was like, I get it. I'm not actually asking you to be on social media all the time. I, aside from TikTok, am not on social media all the time. People would think that, but I'm like, I can't tell you the last time I went to Twitter. Just going to be honest. Pinterest, nah, I'm a TikTok girly. I like that. Facebook, I'm probably on there a little bit every day, but not a lot. Maybe outside of my Mondays, maybe about 30, 45 minutes. So you don't have to live on social media to be consistent on social media. So if that is what you're thinking, you're like, girl, you talking to somebody else. Like, no, I'm telling you, you do not have to live on social media to be consistently on social media. So we'll talk about that as well. All right. So, what are some budget friendly strategies that we can do? And I think we touched on this last week about kind of starting small. You don't have to be on every platform, but you do need to be on some platforms pretty consistently. And I always tell my clients, if nothing else, when you think about, especially social media wise, you want to one, pick a platform that you enjoy, because it's easier to be consistent on something that you actually like to be on. For me, that was Facebook. And then you're going to make sure through your market research. If you don't know, then ask Misha. You want to also go ahead and be on a platform that your target audience frequents, so that you can, of course, connect with them. Because your target audience could be on all the platforms, right? But they're mainly on this platform, because you have to remember, people engage with you in the way they prefer to engage. So if somebody's like, I'm anti social media, they may talk to you through your emails, right? Or they may engage with your content through your blogs or through LinkedIn articles or what have you. Others may love you on Instagram but not look at you anyplace else. So just kind of keep that in mind. So start small, but be consistent, because consistency is the key. I see clients day in and day out, and they're like, "Oh, I'm on these platforms." I go look. They posted 1 week, 2 weeks went by. They posted again. They're like, "Oh, I did go live." They went live once that month. They put out one flyer, one story, two reels. It's like, okay, well, this isn't consistent. These people are not checking for you. They don't know to expect your content. They don't know when you're going to pop up. And if I was somebody coming to your platform, I'm like, they're a little sporadic. Like, are they still in business? Are they, sometime posting? Like, what is this? So just try to start small, but be consistent where you are. Maximize your ROI. ROI is your return on investment. You have so many marketing dollars, right? Finite price right now. Most businesses have a marketing budget of, like I said, some of y'all is zero. It's okay. But whatever it is, I don't care if it's $5. You want to make sure you're spending your money wisely. Again, I have people who come to me and like, hey, I invested in this marketing strategy or that, and it didn't work for me and my money's gone, what have you. Don't be afraid to pivot. Don't be afraid to try things, but just make sure that if you're going to continuously put out money, I don't care if it's a platform, I don't care if it's investing in a person or service, make sure that there is a return on investment, but also make sure that before you spend your money, that you have a plan, right? Because that's what really hits you when you don't have a plan for that marketing strategy. So you put out $1,000 on an ad, right? And that ad, you're like, oh, Facebook told me I can increase visits to my website. Okay. But when they go to your website, you're not selling nothing, or it's not up to date. You're wasting money. You're throwing money out the window, literally. You're flushing it down the toilet, right? Maybe you have a challenge coming up and you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to spend a little money doing cold calls, like get paying somebody to cold call people to invite them to my challenge. Okay, you do all that. You don't have your target audience down packed for your challenge. So then the people they call are not your target audience. And then even if the people come, you don't have an upsell for them. Again, throwing money out the window. So just make sure that you do have a strategic plan in place. And if you don't have one in place, this is the time to sit down and do it before you throw out all the money or be upset. Because I tell you, people have come to me after a project. Because again, people will hire us on the marketing side and be like, "We want you to do this." And I said, "Okay." And then they'll be like, "Dang, I didn't get what I thought I was gonna get." And I'm like, "Well, what was you trying to get?" And they're like, "Oh, I wanted to do this." I'm like, "Oh, that wasn't gonna get you there." And not granted, that was more in the beginning of my business. Now I've learned to just kind of ask some questions, because sometimes people say they want something but they need something else. Just be, again, business owner here. You gotta know how to ask the right questions, but people will do that. And so you probably listening to this have done that, where you're like, okay, I'm going to invest in this, and then it doesn't give you the return you want, but it's more than likely because you didn't have things in place to really get that return on investment out of it. So one, have a plan, but then make sure that you are getting that return on investment. And if you're not, you need to kind of look at your system and see where you can make tweaks, pivot if necessary, to make sure that you are indeed getting what you thought you were going to get out of it. And that's kind of where it goes into like making smart goals, making sure they're realistic. If you've never sold a ticket to anything before and you're going to have your first event, let's not think that you're going to have 1 million people attend because you saw somebody else who's been building up an audience and being consistent, and they have challenges every month, that they have thousands of people come to something. We have to be realistic. We might have to say, this first event, let's hope we can get 50 butts in seats. Let's hope we can get 100 butts in seats. But if we know that, then we know how much we're going to make from it, and we can say, okay, well, this is how much I have to spend on it, because you don't want to overspend the marketing for what the return is going to be, because then what? You end up in the hole. So strategic plan, make sure you're checking the ROI. And then just be smart about the platforms you're using to execute these things. I tell people, you don't have to live on social media. You don't have to, do a whole bunch of writing emails and creating websites for everything. Like, you personally don't have to do that. But if you're gonna outsource it, just make sure you know what you're doing, or you have somebody who does know what they're doing, or you're utilizing platforms to support you, so that you can maximize your work. All right, so let's talk about. I'll jump real quick and talk about some of those platforms. If you're in our private community, I actually have in the guide section, it's like an affordable resource list. I will be updating that in 2024, but it's still good right now, and it actually breaks down by category, the types of softwares, we'll say, that you can utilize. And when I'm talking about softwares, I'm talking about what are the types of content you need to be putting out is email marketing, right? Because again, not everybody wants to engage with you on social media, and emails allow you to be more proactive in reaching out. Because in social media, you're hoping they kind of come across it. Emails, you're sending it to them for them to see. So make sure you're emailing, but you don't have to be sitting here constantly writing emails. Yes, I want you to make sure they're custom, but you can have a copywriter write your emails. You can have your assistant write emails and draft them up. Not every email is pouring out your personal business and things like that. Like, there are some things where you're just talking about your framework and different events and services you offer. Like, have someone else, whether it be a copywriter, whoever, write those emails for you. And if you're going to write them, fine, but have a scheduling system where you're not saying, okay, Tuesday I have to send out an email. So Tuesday you write the email and then you send it out. Like, no, 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 no. And again, in that resource sheet in the private community, there are platforms, email platforms there that are really affordable that I believe in. Things like Get Response, Flowdesk, ConvertKit. MailChimp's actually better now than they used to be. So MailChimp is fine as well. I personally like Get Response. I like platforms that can do more than one thing. So, and MailChimp's pretty good too now, where they can do not only your emailing, but they can help you create landing pages, because landing pages are great when you're going to have different little events. You can have pages that have lead magnets on it. You can do so many things. And again, that return on investment, if I'm investing in a software that's going to help me automate some systems, let me invest in a software that I can utilize for multiple things. So definitely, I will put a caveat out. If you're not techie, please do not get HubSpot. If you like techie stuff and that's your background, go ahead and grab it. But if not, that is the only platform that may be on the list that I'm like, maybe not for the novice tech person. But yeah, it can do multiple things. It can make forms. It can do some really cool things. And now you can pay that whatever monthly fee, but get a lot of use out of it. And I want you to use it a lot. These kind of softwares not only allow you to put out content, but also monitor the content. Because we talked about that before, being able to adjust, get that money return on investment. And so you're looking at your emails and you're saying, okay, how many people, what's the percentage of people opening it? So the way the software works is it actually looks at, okay, I sent out 1,000 emails, and then they let you know how many people opened it. Now I'm going to say it's an estimate in all honesty, because there are some ways in which, especially like Apple products that don't register that because of different rules and all the things. Won't get into that today, but it's still a good way to judge how many people are opening your content. And then from that, how many people are converting to clients. Based on industry, you'll get different open rate averages, but I personally, for my clients, like them to be between 25 and 35% open rate. That may sound low, but I promise you it's not. You can Google it. And then conversion rate, once somebody books a call, a lot of people are between 2 and 10%. I personally want to be over that 50% mark with any client. So you guys can kind of just give you some numbers to think about. It does vary, and again, when you make your goals, if you've not sent out emails before, give yourself grace, tweak them, see what's getting people to open them, see what's getting people to engage, and then adjust as necessary. But email marketing, those are some suggestions. When it comes to social media, again, you don't have to be there saying, okay, I'm going to post this today. I absolutely love later.com. We use it on all my clients. I'm not going to gatekeep that. I love it so much. I actually just upped my own plan and I've been up there for years. I just upped it. But all of our clients, we use it because it allows you to post to multiple platforms at the same time for a pretty decent fee. Even if so, some people are like, well, I got an assistant or I got a VA, but I don't know what to give him or her as an assignment. Have them schedule all your social media content out and have them do it in one day. So all your content for the month done in one day, right? This is how you utilize your marketing budget. You're saying, okay, I want to be consistent on these platforms. Later.com is great, and that's later.com. It's great because you can post to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest, and TikTok. TikTok is only video content because it's the only video content platform. You can customize each platform. You can pick the times they post. It will give you analytics as well. And they're constantly updating the software. You can post to your stories on Instagram as well. It's a lot of cool things that you can do. And again, the fee is low. So if we're gonna spend marketing dollars, but we don't have thousands to spend on ads, at least we can spend some money being consistent on social media. You can post your reels up there as well. It doesn't do YouTube, but YouTube has a nifty scheduler. So you can schedule your YouTube content to go out early as well. So that's your social media content, your emailing content. If you want to put out things like webinars and things like that, those types of pieces of content, you can do it on lots of platforms. You can use something like a StreamYard, a Restream, a Ecamm. If you use Apple products, those are great. They allow you to stream to multiple platforms and customize as you go. So when you see me do, and I'm just going to put up, the only thing I have prepped is Misha's flyer. But if you're watching anywhere but Instagram, you can see right now it's allowing me to customize your view. So you can actually do webinars or record bigger pieces of content, even up to your course, utilizing things like this. And a lot of these places have very, very affordable packages. They're always changing, so I can't throw out a dollar amount today. But when I tell you, I think when I started with StreamYard, I was paying, I don't know, maybe less than $20 a month, something like that. In all honesty, I do believe for a while our overhead was about $100. We had StreamYard and we had Zoom and what was it? Get Response. And it took care of most everything. And then we had Wix for a website. So again, you don't have to spend tons and tons of money to have the ability to automate some of these tasks to give you more time to do what it is you need to do. So those are just some of the platforms I suggest. If you are somebody who's not necessarily at the beginning stages of your business and you maybe have a few courses already, I do recommend Kajabi because it's an all-in-one. It will run you about $200 a month or more. But it allows you to have a website, to create unlimited landing pages, to have products that are connected, to have a blog, to have a podcast, to do one-on-one coaching, to have your email marketing, lead magnets, funnels, all the works. Oh yeah, if you want to do funnels, ClickFunnels is okay. Um, it's still considered affordable. If you're not super tech savvy, again, you have to kind of decide, are you going to utilize the software? Because there are some other platforms that allow you to make some simple funnels. And I've already named those. So, you just have to judge. ClickFunnels is absolutely great. Um, my campaign is great as well. I was trying to think of some of these names, but you just have to be able to utilize the software. And so again, that's when it comes back to that plan. What is your plan? And I would say, especially this time of year when you're planning for 2024, think about what is your marketing plan, and then what software can you afford? What software can you use? And then what will fulfill the needs of that marketing plan, and then invest in that. I had a client once who bought so many different softwares. She's like, "Oh, this one's on sale, and this one, and this one," and I'm like, "Cool. Now, which ones of these can you use?" And she was like, "I don't know how to use any of them." Okay, well then they really don't matter if we can't use them. Do you have them set up? No. Okay, well then we're wasting money again. So have the plan, invest in what can cover the plan and what you can use, and then utilize it consistently. Okay, so let's dive a little bit deeper into some types of content, some forms. So I kind of mentioned before, blogs, LinkedIn articles are great because that's for people who like written content. Emails, again, that written content. Webinars, challenges, PDFs are great. Um, Doing things like graphics, like 2D graphics, carousels, great content. Doing your stories, making reels, which are short forms on YouTube. They're called shorts. Short form content that's technically 1 to 10 minutes because TikTok went up to 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, ain't nobody looking at a 10-minute video on TikTok. But I would say 1 to 3 minutes are your shorter videos, and then your long form content as well. People, depending on what it is and depending on where they are in their client journey with you, are going to need all these kinds of forms of content. So again, when you sit down and strategize, you're saying, okay, what kind of content do I need to make for my audience? What platforms are I going to use to get it out? How are they going to get it? These are some things to think about, because what a lot of people are doing is saying, oh, I need followers, I need to build an audience. And it's like, okay, but what are we posting? What do we want our goal to be? What do we want them to walk away with? What do we want the feeling of the brand to be? These are some questions, one that should have been handled in your business plan. So if you haven't done that, get with Susie. But also, these are things that should have been in your marketing plan before you started throwing out dollars to whomever. So just kind of keep that in mind. Now, this may sound like a lot. I've told you need some platforms. Yes and no. You could do some things yourself, but we're trying to give you back your time. I've told you got to make all this content, and you like, girl, what in the world? Like, where am I going to come up with time to write all this content? Well, one, we did talk about the fact that you could outsource, but also I want you to get into the habit of repurposing content. So this can look like different things. Some of you have a lot of content that's already out here in the world and it's just there. You did blogs last year. You were on several podcasts some time ago. Maybe you had a podcast once upon a time. Maybe you wrote some emails and they've been sent and never again see the light of day. I want you to gather up all your things and see what still works, what's still relevant, and repurpose it. You can send out an email 6 months ago and send it out again. You surely can. If you run the same challenge every year or every month or every quarter, if you don't send out that same email sequence, you better hit copy in that system. That's why systems are great, because then you can just change the dates and resend it out and not have to rewrite it. Say you made a long YouTube video, chop that sucker up and promote that video using shorts from that video. Okay, we're repurposing already done content. Maybe you spoke someplace, chop that up and utilize it for short form content. Social media graphics. We have a bank and we use a software called Trello. It's completely free, Trello, and we have, oh, goodness gracious, I think last time I checked, we had about 2 years worth of content that I had written and made graphics for. And literally, what you're seeing right now, you can probably looking like, oh, I think maybe if you've been with us for a long time, you may see something you've seen before, but it still makes sense. And we have new people coming in all the time that didn't know what I posted 2 years ago. Repost that stuff. Repost it. Repost it. Make sure all your links work and make sure it's still relevant, but repost it. There's no reason. I tell people all the time, if you can't afford much, get somebody to make you a quarter's worth of content. That's 3 months of content. And run that again every 3 months. As long as you're bringing new people into your community, you're great. You're great. Because as that content's running, one, you're making more money to invest in other things, other pieces, maybe lead magnets, maybe webinars, what have you. And the people who've been riding with you are going to have that to look at. But also, a refresher is not a bad thing. So don't be afraid of that. Just rerun it. You should not be spending every day making content. That shouldn't be your life. And there's no way you can run your business if you're doing it that way. Now, say you're newer and you don't have years of backlogged content and videos and things like that. Well, what I do with newer clients who are in that predicament is I say, okay, let's come up with a theme for the month, right? So they pick an overall theme. They already have one target audience in mind. I say, okay, cool. This is the theme. These are the things we want to talk about. Maybe it's like 4 or 5 things. And then we take that and we break it into topics for social media. And we take that same 4 or 5 things and we say, okay, these can be blogs. Same stuff. We're just talking about it in a blog, which is a little longer than the caption on a thing. We're going to take that and make a video. And they're going to talk for a while. We're going to break that down into shorts. So now we got YouTube videos. We got podcast topics. We have reels. We have social media content. We got blogs. We got articles. We got all of that from one theme and about 4 or 5 topics. So now we can repurpose that. And the cool part, again, is that people won't get tired of it because when it looks consistent, they know that that's what the topics are for the month. But also, it makes you not have to think about 1,000 things. So, for instance, if you follow us, like if you're really engaged in the iRock community, we've been talking about making money this month, all this month. Like, how are we going to get to the bag? How are we going to get clients coming in? If you've been looking at us at these lives and you've been getting our emails, they're talking about the same stuff. The absolute same stuff. If you go to our LinkedIn profile or our website and look at our blog, our LinkedIn articles and our blogs are talking about the same stuff. They're just in different formats. We are not pulling things from all over the place because I just don't have time. My team doesn't have time. We want to be concise and really look at how much time do we have to develop these pieces of content. So, yep, you're getting the same thing everywhere. We're either repurposing it or if we make something new, it's all going to be the same stuff. So don't be afraid of that. Again, people aren't going to get tired of it. You'll be okay. So repurposing is definitely going to help you to get all these products, these things made. All right. And lastly, again, we want to just make sure we are looking at the analytics of this work. I'm a coach. I've worked with other coaches. We can give you a strategy, but you have to realize that you're going to have to look at how that strategy is being implemented within your business, what is working, what is not, and then adjust as needed. Even with the strategies we use, we still try new strategies from time to time, and we also adjust the strategies we're currently using. Maybe it's a volume issue. We need to do more because this product is doing well or this method is doing well, but we just want more, right? So we have to up how many we're doing. Or this kind of media is working really good, but we need to do it more often. Or maybe it's not doing as great, but people still like it. So we're going to do a little less or what have you. We have to just look at what the numbers are saying. And I always tell people, don't fall in love with something in your business because if your audience doesn't like it, you have to be okay with getting rid of it. And it's okay to phase things out as well. I've been talking about our awesome Monday night lives. We're not phasing them out, but we changing them for Mondays in 2024. Why? Because I don't think people want to have a long day at work on a Monday and then have to come and listen to a talk. And also, I get tired on a Monday, and I'm like, okay, so next year we see that people like the segment. It's great because we can put on multiple platforms. We're consistent at it, but we're gonna put it on a different day. Master classes, thought it was great. People are really getting a lot out of it, but it takes a lot of effort on our back end to find these experts and then schedule them every month. And they also aren't always available at different times. So instead, next year, we're going to group them up and have different types of events where you can get even more from them, and it benefits our experts a little bit more. And it just makes more sense marketing wise to the company. So again, we have that ROI. So I hope this helped you. I hope that it wasn't overwhelming. I tried to break it down into the smallest parts. But if you're sitting there and you're thinking, you know what, this all sounds good, but I don't know where to start, or I already have some things in place, I'm not sure how to fit a plan into my strategy, or I want a plan for 2024, I do encourage you to book a free mini brand audit. And I used to say just a strategy call. And you can still book it, it's fine. It all gets you to me. But the mini audit is great because it allows us, when we talk, for us to actually look at what you already got going on, right? What you got going on. We look at it and we say, okay, based on what I'm seeing and versus what you're telling me you want to do, these are some holes that I see, and this is how we can fix those holes within your budget. So it allows you to build on what you already have going on. And if you don't have anything going on, it's okay. You're just gonna let me know, and then we're going to make sure that when you do put stuff out, that you look like the expert, that industry leader that you are. So if you are looking at this anywhere but Instagram, I gotta do better on Instagram of getting y'all some links. Matter of fact, I'm gonna make a link tree for you guys. That's what I'm gonna do. I already know. Do better. You guys, everybody else, in the description of this video, you have the link to the free mini audit. And don't forget, let me throw this back on the screen. Don't forget, this Thursday, we have Misha Branch in the house doing our last masterclass of the month. I am working so hard to get you an amazing, amazing expert for next month. I talked to her today. I was like, girl, I got to get you on the schedule because we have been talking, y'all. Tax time is around the corner. It is around the corner, and there are so many new laws that will have us lose out on some deductions and can make us possibly end up in some legal troubles. So I'm having her come on because not only is she a tax preparer, right? Because you need somebody who knows what they're talking about, but she also is someone who trains other tax professionals. So she really knows what she's talking about. So I'm going to have her come on next month. But again, don't forget to come to Misha Branch's masterclass this Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to learn about market research. Because as you're building out your plans for your businesses, we need to make sure that they are informed by the research and not just by our feelings, our hearts, and our emotions, because we're trying to make this money, right? Get to this bag and also help the people we sought out to help. All right. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to go for tonight. But just remember, I rock, you rock, we all rock. And I will see you guys next time.